Conner Prairie is honoring Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. with a new online exhibit and documentary highlighting his legacy.
Yeah, and get this, some of the leaders on this project are local high school students. Our Randall Newsom has more.
Hey everybody, I'm joining you from the newsroom to talk about this brand new online exhibit at Conner Prairie honoring the legacy of Martin Luther King Jr. I'm joined with Norman Burns. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing fine, Randall. How about yourself?
I'm doing really good, really good. Happy MLK Day to you.
You as well. I'm actually at home this afternoon in my office, so I'm very happy to be watching the exhibit and the documentary and going by the museum a little bit later this afternoon.
Awesome. For you guys, how did this whole thing get started with this new online exhibit honoring Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.?
Well, you know, our diversity, equity, accessibility, inclusion statement is we really want Conner Prairie to be a place where the doors are always open to diversity of choices and limitless experiences. And we have been doing MLK Day experiences now for about the last decade. And they've generally been inside because of the timing of the year, but because of COVID, we decided to do things outside. But we also, for the first time, are hosting an online exhibit. And so that's really part of this, of our ability to be able to educate the public about this unique historic place and really creating experiences that everyone can enjoy and learn from.
Awesome. Now, okay, we're talking about this new online exhibit that you guys are showcasing. Okay, what are some of the details? We don't want to give too much away, but what are some of the things that people can look forward to?
Well, people can go to our website, www.connerprairie.org, and actually navigate to the page on MLK Day. It's actually up on the front page, and go to the online exhibit that's called The Legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King. And it's a Prezi type of presentation. So there's both quotes and there's videos, and there's a time for the audience to read and learn from and reflect on what Dr. King was doing with the movement. So it examines the history of the nonviolence movement in America and really draws a clear line from the mid-20th century to present day American life. And so we think it's a wonderful opportunity for people to read and reflect and really place themselves in the present day and understand where we are in America at this time.
Dr. King is being honored in so many different ways across the country. What's special about this exhibit to you?
Well, I think it's special because of the way our program department, our education department, exhibits team worked with external players in the community, everything from our relationship with other theater companies, but also working with Lawrence Township. As a matter of fact, one of the things that's actually premiering today is a documentary film that we did through our relationship with Lawrence Township with 4 high school students. It's called Dr. Martin Luther King, A Legacy of Social Justice. And we're really proud of how we were able to work with Lawrence Township and these students to really do their reflection. So the documentary examines historical moments in the civil rights movement and kind of relates it to what's happening in the world today, reflected through the eyes of these high school students and how they're reflecting on their feelings as teenagers at this time. So it's almost like if you could take a snapshot and look back 50 years, imagine teenagers back at that time, what they were thinking about the movement.
Wow. I mean, I know in high school I didn't do anything that cool, Norman. So for you guys to have those high school kids involved in something like this, what does that say about the whole project?
Well, I think it's an example of how museums like Conner Prairie, and we're not the only one, we're trying to reach out and generally, you know, you think of 4th grade field trips at places like a Conner Prairie and sometimes even the Children's Museum and other places. But we really are trying to reach all audiences. And for middle school and high schoolers, we want to make sure that they not only think about that 4th grade field trip at Conner Prairie that they had that looked at the social studies. We want to get them into the elements of their life that's really affecting how they're growing up. And I think having high school students involved this way, we've had high school students from other places like Hamilton Southeastern Schools that's worked with us on doing projects with in Prairie Town and actually creating projects where people can have escape rooms in Prairie Town. So we've done some very interesting things because we're trying to make history relevant for teenagers. And there's nothing more relevant than what's going on in our society today. And it's only because of the systemic racism that has continued on that this has come back up in this way. And I think if people will watch the documentary film of these 4 students, they'll see just what where their hearts are on the subject matter. And I think that if we will listen to some of the words that they're saying in these documentaries, I think we'll all be able to move this forward in ways that we've never imagined before.
Awesome. I can't wait to see it. Mr. Norman Burns, thank you so much for having us.
Thank you, Randall.
All right, guys, find out more about this online exhibit on wishtv.com. I'll send it back to you.
Fantastic stuff as always. You can check out the documentary online now. And today it's also free to visit Conner Prairie's outdoor grounds as the museum honors Dr. King.